Absolutely big news in the crypto space, guys. Bitcoin is hitting new all-time highs seemingly every single day, and it is amazing. And today, guys, we have just hit a high of around $86,000 to $88,000 at the time of this recording, which is 5 p.m. And you have to understand, going from 60,000 to 88,000 is huge numbers, because you have to understand the amount of capital that is flowing into Bitcoin. And again, if you know how an alt season works, money flows into Bitcoin, then into altcoins. So the more money flown into Bitcoin, the more money that will eventually be flown into altcoins. So we are nearing a $100,000 price target for Bitcoin, and that could be very, very impactful on the crypto market. Why do I say that? Well, I believe that because you have to understand, once we hit that 100,000 mark, people are going to start taking Bitcoin more and more seriously. You're going to have a lot more retail investors coming back into and FOMOing into Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So the bull run is literally happening just as we had expected. It's following everything. You know, like, I was someone who was skeptical about this cycle even happening, and it is just literally mirroring what has happened previously. But this one is bigger because we have bigger adoption with big institutions as well as governments and countries. So this is going to be one of the biggest bull runs we have seen in the crypto space, and a lot of people are underestimating it, in my own personal opinion. So I think that there's a lot of conservative price predictions for altcoins. In reality, then, these coins are going to do a lot better than a lot of people think. So keep that in mind. And like I said, there's people who are comparing this to previous cycle and saying previous cycle was greater than this one will be, and I honestly disagree. I think this one's going to be bigger because we have bigger institutions flowing in. We have so much going on within the space that it's going to go crazy. And that leads us into talking about some base coins today. Just another base update, guys, to give you. We've looked at Aerodrome. It's around that $1.50 mark. Again, it kind of fell short of that yesterday. Below that $1.50 mark. Now it's kind of back above it just a little bit. Nothing crazy. Again, really excited to see what this one does. Again, conservative price, $8 to $10. But if I had to say, I myself am looking to sell in the $15 to $20 range within Aerodrome. But again, it all depends on how fast we hit certain numbers and, you know, what the top looks like. If the top's in and Aero's at 15 or 10, then I'm going to sell, of course. So keep that in mind. Just make sure you're staying up to date on everything. But I genuinely think this one is something that's going to pump regardless. It's going to do very well. It's going to do very well, and I'm very, very excited to see what happens with an Aerodrome. And then that leads us into the next coin, being Moonwell. I think Moonwell, at the time of this recording, is above 8 cents. So again, as someone who's called this out on the channel, we bought it at 3 cents, I believe. And that's almost a 3x. And it still has miles and miles to go. A lot of people are complaining that Moonwell isn't moving, but you have to understand that it is a very small cap coin that is still under the radar. If you, again, looking at just how money flows in an alt season, first goes into Bitcoin, then high caps, low caps, or medium caps and low caps. This is a low cap, so don't expect anything crazy yet. And the same thing goes with talent acquisition or talent protocol, as well as alien base. Anything now is just really beneficial, and we'll take it for those tokens. But again, don't expect any of these coins to have parabolic gains right now, and they definitely could. I'm not ruling that out. I, of course, wouldn't, I don't not want to see that happening, but we should start to see that happening near the end of the year and into the next year, into early Q1, where we then could see our market top come in into spring, where we end up profiting a lot of money, guys. So if you've been following the channel for a while, you've been hearing about base, you've been hearing about, all these different coins, and you might be someone who is very excited about this crypto market. If you stayed with me for this whole entire year, then you've probably been ready for this, and we are about to be heavily rewarded. I believe this is going to be one of the biggest wealth transfers in history. If my advice and I'm gonna stress this in pretty much maybe every video. Please, if you make a decent amount of money in crypto and you believe in this space, the best thing you could possibly do is buy one Bitcoin or as close as you can to it. Now, the reason I say this, and it really differs for everyone, but this is me, right? Bitcoin I see staying around for a very, very long time. With that in mind, I see Bitcoin, and a lot of other people too, a lot of people who are smarter than me, see Bitcoin hitting $1 million at least by 2030. So if you can secure one now, let's say we hit a top of 150,000 and it drops to 120 or 100,000 or maybe even 90, and you scoop one up for that price. If it goes to $1 million, you'd have 10x, but you'd be a millionaire in 6 years. And that's really beneficial for a young kid. So having one Bitcoin, and then maybe just you don't even have to worry about the crypto space anymore after that. Just buy your one Bitcoin, because by the time I'm an 18-year-old right now, by the time I'm 40 or 50 and Bitcoin is at $1 million in 6 years when I'm 24, what would it be in 16 years when I'm 40 or 26 when I'm 50? So keeping that in mind, I think this space is so much farther to go, and we're in a really, really good position right now. I'm very excited to see what happens, and I hope you guys are too, because again, what I love about this space is whoever is interested in crypto, I love seeing our community get together and try to work together in order to make a lot of money, because that's what crypto is, right? We invest, we make our money, and then we transform our lives from that. And I love what this community is doing. I will always be here to just give my own updates, keep myself educated. I'm betting on this too. So it really is important for us to all come together in order to actually make this work. And again, I'm very excited to see what happens within the space. Be bullish. We are clearing numbers. Everyone who was sidelined, I find it funny now thinking back to them saying that Bitcoin was going to drop to like 50,000 or 40,000, and now we're at 80 something thousand. It's beautiful to see, guys, and I love it. And that's all I'm going to say, guys. With all that being said, I will see you guys later in the next video. As always, keep you updated and keep myself updated. I'll see you guys later.